Right guys, good afternoon and welcome to another video on United Chat TV. We've got a lot to get through. All the doom and gloom surrounding United at the minute. Whose fault is it? Is it Eric Ten Hag? Is it the Glazers? Is it John Murtough and Richard Arnold? There's stuff about Mason Greenwood. There's Jadon Sancho, there's the situation with Harry Maguire that's happened over the summer. There's just so much to get into. But before I get started, this is going to be a bit of a rant. The reason I'm going to do a bit of a rant today is because I'm sick to death of arguing with individuals on Twitter who want to point the blame at one thing without discovering the facts, without looking at the information, and it's just ridiculous. So, without ado, let's get into it. First of all, let's get started on yesterday. Brighton at home. United were played off the park after the first 10 minutes. The first 10 minutes, United played well. And after that, they were played off the park. Brighton, they're in a much better situation at United than United are at the minute. They're playing well. They've got a good structure that leads all the way down. The manager, he knows what he's doing, and the players know the tactics inside out, and they just come to Old Trafford once again and beat United, and that seems to happen. Well, it's happened quite a lot with Brighton lately. But a little flashpoint I want to talk about was there's two. Rasmus Højlund, the first one, the goal that was disallowed, 50-50 on it, different angles. I think it was out. A lot of people have their opinions and say it was in. Would it change the output of the game? Who knows? And secondly, in the second half, when Marcus Rashford got into the box and decided to take a shot instead of squaring it, Højlund was unmarked. He'd have finished it. Thing is, United, especially Marcus Rashford, I love him as a player, but he's got to stop being selfish. Last season he was brilliant, scored all them goals, and I couldn't have rated him higher last season. He got United out of a lot of difficulties, and yeah, but the situations like that, we now have a striker who's willing to make that run into the 6-yard box. We've got to give him them chances, and yesterday was a clear-cut thing of where Rashford could have done that, but he didn't. If that's Kevin De Bruyne, Jack Grealish, Mohamed Salah, well, not technically Salah, but Luis Diaz, they're putting that ball across the box, or even Bukayo Saka, and there's a tap in for Højlund. United have to start doing that. It's got to happen more, and I'm hoping to see that more, especially with the look of how good Rasmus Højlund's actually looking. He played well at the Emirates a couple of weeks ago. Bear in mind, we lost that, which I'm not even going to talk about. That's in the past. What happened in that game, that's in the past. But yeah, another flashpoint was Hannibal Medbury's goal. Everyone's got the difference of opinion on should he have celebrated, shouldn't he have. The answer is yes. This is a young lad who's been waiting for his chance in the first team. He's been knocking on the door, and he's finally got his chance, and he's took it. It was a brilliant curling effort into the top corner. Brighton goalkeeper had no chance. He showed that enthusiasm that none of the players showed after the first 10 minutes, which is a lot. Another thing, taking Højlund off and taking Casemiro off and bringing on Anthony Martial, boos from the crowd. There's different things you can take out that game which paints a bad light at United at the minute, but can also put things into perspective. I really want to see Pellistri and Garnacho given a chance on both wings. Anthony's been, well, at the minute he's away from the club dealing with whatever's happening in Brazil. That's not my situation at all. Sancho being Sancho, I'll talk about later on in the video. We now have two very talented youngsters. Alejandro Garnacho, who showed time and time and again what he can do. And Facundo Pellistri, He's another bright spark, but we need to give him the chance. And that's what I think Erik ten Hag should have done yesterday. Should have been Højlund, Pellistri and Garnacho. That's my honest opinion. I know people are going to say, well, Rashford this. No. Give the players a chance. Give the youngsters a chance. It's why we got the list out of players that we've got injured at the minute. It's got to be given. We'd Amrabat coming back now. Do I think Casemiro needs a rest? Yes. Amrabat needs to stick straight in there. When Mount comes back, it should be Mount, Bruno and Amrabat. Or Casemiro, Amrabat and Bruno. United need a bit more solidarity in midfield. That's what United need. Teams are just playing right through United, and that midfield's not existing at the minute. Something needs to give. We're conceding goals for the fun of it. Another thing, everyone is blaming Onana. Right. We understand last season and everyone's taking the mick, David De Gea should come back. No. United are moving forward now. So whatever your thoughts on David De Gea, it's in the past, it's done. Onana's come in. He's playing well. Yes, fair enough, we're conceding goals left, right and centre. But if you don't get help from your defenders, then what else can you do? Are you expecting Onana to save 3-4 goals? He did yesterday. He pulled a couple of wonderful saves. But the 3 times Brighton scored, nothing can be done about it. Same at the Emirates. Nothing could have been done about, well, one of them should have been disallowed, but I wouldn't say there's differences in the way United are this season, but bear in mind, everyone said there was a crisis last season, but we move on to Bayern Munich on Tuesday, and that is the end of that. Right, the next thing, Jadon Sancho. Where do I start about Jadon Sancho? If my manager treated me, well, I wouldn't say treat me. If I treat my manager the way Jadon Sancho has treated Erik ten Hag, I'd be out the door in my job. No bother. Turning up for training late, looking disinterested, and it's just ridiculous. He's had problems with it, and it's been shown in the media with England, with Borussia Dortmund. So why is everyone going in at Erik ten Hag when he was brought in to bring the standards back up at this club? That's what he was brought in for. He got rid of Cristiano Ronaldo, broke standards. He wanted rid of Harry Maguire for the reason standards. He's trying. Mason Greenwood, well, that's for another story, but Mason Greenwood and Anthony at the minute, standards and stuff off the field. But it's all about holding yourself to high regard as a United player. When you put on that shirt, you should be proud. Not taking the piss. João Cancelo done it at Manchester City. He was out the door. You see the difference. There was one player that done it at Arsenal. He was out the door. The difference in operating. United, for far too long, the players have been able to get away with too much, and player power speaks too much. Do I think the players have thrown the toys out the pram in support for Greenwood and Sancho? Don't know. Are they going to try and get Erik ten Hag sacked in support? I don't know. Should it happen? No. If Jadon Sancho really wants to succeed at United, yeah, fair enough. I understand. He thinks Ten Hag has his favourites. So what? Don't brief it to the media. Don't brief it to your camp. Get your head down and show why you should be playing week in, week out. If you're coming in and you're training the house down and you're giving your manager a reason to pick you, then what's the difference? If you're not living up to them standards in training, you're turning up late, see that door, go. And then, for him to go and do what he did, On social media, no, you don't do that. If I had done that, I'd have been out of work straight away. No, you don't do that. You really don't. And I understand. And then there was all the stuff about backing down and refusing to delete your social media post. Why? Being at United is already a very difficult job as a player without making yourself look like a fool in the media spotlight. Any small thing to do with United, bang, it's right in the news. So why? Why don't you just get your head down and just crack on, get on with training? Who cares? If you've got a problem, speak to your manager in private. Don't air your dirty laundry out in public. You don't need to do it. Everything should be under the rocks. No media needs to know about it, no nothing. And that's my take on the Jadon Sancho situation. Not all these people on Twitter, and I'm going to call a lot of people out on Twitter that, oh, it's Ten Hag's fault, oh, he's got no standards, this, that and the other. No, that's wrong. And a lot of people need to get that information and get the information properly and also figure out the facts before they start jumping in at Eric Ten Hag, the way he's handled all these situations. I think he's done it brilliantly. But that's just my personal opinion. It's open for dispute, yeah. Some people can drop me a message on Twitter or leave a like or comment under this video. Put your comments across. But my main thing is, all this needs to stop around here. This media circus, all of it needs to stop. Right. Sancho, finished. Next thing, Mason Greenwood. Right. Do I think Mason Greenwood should have been given another chance at United? No. But once again, it's a personal opinion. He's now playing for Getafe. Ahmed Diallo shared a post on Instagram of him watching Mason Greenwood today. So what? Doesn't matter. If Mason Greenwood ends up coming back at United, that's on the club. Am I going to throw a hissy fit all over Twitter and say he shouldn't come back? No. Am I going to support the decision? No. Am I just going to get on with it? Yes. But that's just the way things are. He should not be given another chance. But on the other flip side, maybe he isn't guilty. Maybe all this has just been whipped up, but you can't hide screenshots and videos. You can't. So I think he shouldn't be given another chance. He was told that he wasn't given another chance. Now people believe he's coming back to Old Trafford next season. Who knows? But it's a situation to keep an eye on. And if he comes back, I'll support him, but I won't be happy. But a lot of people just need to move on now. Need to stop it. It wasn't Ten Hag's decision regarding Mason Greenwood. Ten Hag wanted him back. Richard Arnold made that much of a cock-up about it, pardon my language, made that much of a cock-up over it. And then he ended up having to backtrack on his decision because of the fans. And now there's fans calling for him to come back. The same fans that were sending Richard Arnold emails saying that he shouldn't come back. You can't win. That's why a lot of people need to stop writing stuff on Twitter. Stop saying this, that and t'other, and use that same energy you have abusing Sancho, abusing Eric Ten Hag, abusing Mason Greenwood, abusing the rest, and use all your energy onto this next thing that I'm going to say. Get these owners out. It'll be a year in November that the Glazers put Manchester United up for sale. A year, they're still here. With no news on the sale, with false promises, false lies, and loads of false stories out there. It's beyond a joke. So no point using, and I'm not attacking the 1958 here, and I'm not, so please don't think I am, but spending your money to go and watch United and then chanting Glazers out It's not going to work. Yeah, you shut the megastar for one day. What about the other 364 days it's still open? There needs to be a total boycott of Manchester United. You want the owners out. Stop lining the pockets. Keep attacking the sponsors on Twitter. They will leave, and the Glazers will leave in the end. But all this animosity on Twitter and all this meltdown now everything needs directed towards the Glazers. We need to get them out. We need to get John Murtough out. We need to get Richard Arnold out. We need to give Erik ten Hag that proper football and structure so he can succeed. And in the personal opinion, we need to take the transfers away from Erik ten Hag picking the players he wants. We need a director of football who identifies players and chooses the players. That's what United need moving forward. And that's the only way it's going to work. And that's what needs to be done over the next couple of months. Fans need to go in hard at the Glazers, boycott all the games. That's what we need to do. And once we do that, it happened at Milan. They got their owners out. How'd they do it? Boycotting games. Your time is up. That's what we need to do. No point singing, we want Glazers out or Joel Glazer's going to die when you've just spent 80, 90 quid on a match ticket. And when 72,000 people, and then plus, 72,000 people spend money, well, Joel Glazer's just going to laugh. Oh, they're singing I'm going to die, but I've just made 50 to 100, maybe more, a pot on each person. Yeah, okay. We know the real winners are there, but we need to keep these protests up. The online protests need to keep going. Emails need to keep going into Richard Arnold, and something needs done. Arnold needs to go. Murtough needs to go. The Glazers need to go before all this mess is sorted out. And there is, to put it in this cycle, you look over since Sir Alex Ferguson retired, it's been the same season after season after season. After Moyes, Van Gaal come in. Van Gaal fell out with some players. Van Gaal left. Mourinho come in. Mourinho fell out with players. Mourinho left. Ollie come in. Ollie fell out with players. Ollie left. Rangnick come in. Rangnick fell out with players. Rangnick left. Erik ten Hag come in. Erik ten Hag fell out with players. We don't want the same cycle. This cycle needs to go, and the Glazers need to go. This club needs to be stopped running like a business and start running like a proper football club before we fall behind. We're already miles behind City and Liverpool. I hate to say this because Liverpool were crap last season, but we're already miles behind them too. And Arsenal are now up there. Chelsea aren't. Not yet, but they will. One day they'll come good. Brighton, we're behind Brighton at the minute. Even Spurs are playing well. But we're behind a lot of teams at the minute. And something needs to change. And the thing for Erik ten Hag is you don't become a rubbish manager overnight. You don't lead Ajax to a Champions League semi-final, beating a star-studded Real Madrid team, a star-studded Juventus team on the way there. If you're not a good manager, you don't be assistant coach to Pep Guardiola if you're no good. So let's back the manager for now, but all that energy needs focused on getting them leeches out the club before it is too late. That's that. And finally, before we do end this video, I want to look ahead to Bayern Munich in the Champions League. What a start. Do I think we're going to win? No. Do I think Bayern will win? Yeah. But do I think it's going to be a runaway scoreline? I don't know. I'm going to say My heart says 2-2. My head says 3-1 by him. I'm hoping United prove me wrong. I'm an optimist. I like to be optimistic, but at the minute, with the way United are playing, with the lousy goals we're conceding, with the style of play, it's just, at the minute, there's nothing to be optimistic about. But I'm hoping that changes as the weeks go on. And I'm hoping I get to see Amrabat play. I'm hoping Mason Mount's back. Just something give us energy in that midfield. I'm hoping Højlund starts, and I'm hoping he has another brilliant game. And who knows, miracles do happen. Right, guys, I'm signing off. Don't forget to smash and like that subscribe button. Keep my YouTube channel flowing. Thanks very much, guys.